Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody waiting in the caller queue. We are live on the Callin app, so if you're watching later on YouTube, go subscribe to Callin, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Go give us a subscription over there. It's 100% free. All right, we're going to make Chaz Mitchell our first caller here. Chaz, you're on the line. Welcome in. What do you got for me?
Okay, so you're high on Brisker.
Yep.
I'm still high on Thomas Graham Jr. starting,
Okay.
and I think he's gonna be a beast. And it's gonna show that Nagy just didn't know what the heck he was doing, and that it was the best thing to get rid of Nagy. Should have got rid of him in 2019, but things happen in life.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a good point. I think it's embarrassing that Thomas Graham had to play that 1 week due to the COVID outbreak. He balls out, and then they just make him a backup again. That was a joke.
Yeah.
I think he's got a real chance to start at nickel. Obviously, Teven Young's a vet that's played some good ball in this league when he's healthy. But, yeah, if Graham pans out, I mean, it's just more evidence that Nagy just didn't know what the hell he was doing at the end of last year. I think we know that anyway, but that's a further indictment. If they figure out Graham or Young at nickel, if one of those guys can be really good there, I think this secondary has huge potential. What do you think?
Yeah, you see the analysts talking about it's the worst secondary in the
It's a joke.
NFL right now. Yeah, and I'll also Velus Jones Jr. I'm big on him too. I think he's gonna ball out this year.
Yeah,
And a lot of people won't be upset they passed up on him.
I hope so.
It was like he was 25, but wasn't who else was 25 when they were rookie? Was it Taylor? Was it Diggs? Was he 25?
He was
I
an
can't
older
remember
one.
who else.
Calvin Ridley was 23, I think. He was older. He's obviously been good. I mean, he's got a different issue now, but yeah, I mean, if he can contribute right away, no one's going to remember that he's older. It's not going to be a big deal. So appreciate you for calling in. We're going to hop in to another caller right now. Before we do that, let us know. What's up? You got
Have
one
fun
more
on
thing for me?
vacation. Have fun on vacation.
Oh, appreciate that, man. Yeah, if you guys don't know, I'm heading to Italy on vacation, so I can't wait for that. It should be a lot of fun. All right, we got Nick Rishi hopping on to the show here. Nick, welcome back. What do you got for me?
Hey, Harrison. I just wanted to ask you how intrigued are you to watch what Carson Taylor does in camp? Because recently, he's the reason why Teven Jenkins is on the second squad.
Yeah, he burned him at practice.
Yeah, and he was a beast in college. Like he tore up his division. He had 19 career sacks. So especially if Quinn leaves, I'm intrigued to see what he does in camp and what he does on the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, look, he seems to project as a speed rusher type. He's like 6'3", 240, so he's not massive, but he's got good enough size. He torched Teven Jenkins. That was well reported by those who had boots on the grounds there at Hallis Hall during OTAs. Listen, I think he's got a shot to make the roster, especially if Quinn's not here. I mean, if Quinn's gone, your edge rushers are Trevis Gibson, Al-Qadim Muhammad, Dominique Robinson. Mario Edwards might play some edge, but he's going to play inside some, I think. And then that's kind of it. I mean, you got Carson Taylor there. You got Charles Snowden there. So, yeah, I think Taylor would have a very real chance of making this roster.
For sure. Have you heard anything about Kevin Shaw at all during camp?
I have not, no. He's the receiver out of Liberty, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. It's been quiet around pretty much all the receivers outside of, Mooney, Pringle a bit, and Velus Jones. I mean, even St. Brown, there's been not much around him. Pettis had that one good play that one day, but haven't heard anything about Tajay Sharp, David Moore, Daz Newsome, Kevin Shaw, Coulter. So, yeah, I mean, the wide receiver competition is going to be very much up for grabs outside the first few guys.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Thanks for answering my question.
Appreciate that. Let me know in the comments, what year did you guys become a Bears fan? What year was it? And if you can remember, let me know who the quarterback was as well when you became that Bears fan. All right, we'll bring the Bears fan back in here, one of our weekly callers. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How you doing, boss?
I'm good.
Hey, so I'm gonna do a little two-parter for you, kind of change gears if you don't mind.
Yeah, you're
First
good.
off, I've been saying this since the draft. I don't think it's gonna be any one of those guys. I think they're gonna have decent seasons, but my breakout, hey, Braxton Jones, man. Sorry, Teven Jenkins, but I think Braxton Jones is gonna take that spot,
Yeah.
and I think he's gonna be a very, very bright spot on that offensive line, kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
I just like what I see in his intangibles, so I'm gonna kind of switch gears on that one, but. I kind of wanted your thoughts because it kind of hit me with a like a sack of bricks this weekend. But what are your thoughts on this whole Soup Campbell firing ordeal? Because I don't know if it speaks to like what dysfunction there was or what kind of
Yeah.
dysfunction there is. The only thing that came to my mind, bro, is that line from Friday where he's like, "How'd you get fired on your day off?"
Yeah, that well not or also I'm the captain now because Soup Campbell was a part of
Yeah.
the committee that hired Ryan Poles, and then 6 months later, Poles turns the tables on him, and says, "Yeah, you're out of here." You know, that story
Right.
dropped at a weird time for me. It was like a Thursday or a Friday night. I wasn't in the office the next couple days, so by the time I was back, I didn't really get to cover it. There's been like some like loose chatter that he was checked out and that Poles went to McCaskey and asked permission, and it sounds like George was like, "Hey, you're in charge, man, so make the decision." But I mean, look, it's weird, right? He was part of a unit that brought him on board, and obviously he's not here anymore. It sounds like players had tight relationships with him, but listen, if Ryan Poles thinks any of the carryovers from before are not doing their job up to his standards, then cut bait, man. Like it's it's the Poles show now. Like he's in charge, so I don't really have a huge
Right.
problem with it. I don't view this as like some negative light on the off season. It is what it is, man.
Right. Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, look at me. I'm the captain now.
Exactly.
See you, boss.
Exactly. All right, man. Appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button here on the Callin app. If you are listening there, if you're watching on YouTube, go subscribe to Callin, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Link is right there on your screen for those watching over on YouTube. All right, Corey, we've talked to you before. Welcome in. What's going on?
Well, I was wondering when it comes to the punter,
Uh-huh.
do you think they'll bring in anybody to give him competition to the
Oh,
other
will they bring in a punter for competition? Appreciate the question. I don't think so. I mean, they cut they cut the other punter, Ryan Winslow. So I don't anticipate there to be competition, Corey. But look, if you draft a punter, he better pan out. That's all I'm saying, even if it's in the 7th round. So I don't think that will be the case. Are you worried about a rookie punter? Y for yes, N for no. Let us know down in the comments. Are you worried that the Bears are trotting out a rookie punter? All right, we still have time for a few more. Let's go to Paleo. Welcome in, Paleo. What do you got for me? There you go. What's up?
Harrison, I got a question about Byron Pringle.
Okay.
Given the debate on whether or not he'll be the tentative wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, since he was kind of that with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If he has a pretty solid season with the Bears this coming season, do you see the Bears bringing him back for another year or two, or do you think he's just going to be one and done after this season?
There's a lot of factors that come into play. I mean, obviously, how much or how good of a season did he have? What's his market? Yada, yada, yada. Last year is the Chiefs wide receiver 3, really wide receiver 4 because they have Kelsey as well, 542 yards, I believe, and 4 or 5 touchdowns. Pretty good year. I don't view him as a true number 2. I think he's more of a 3. But if he comes out and gives you 600 or 700 yards and 5 touchdowns, I'd bring him back on like a 2-year deal. He's still young. I don't think his price tag would get crazy high. Like if, let's say he has his best year yet and you could bring him back for like 2 years and $16 million, like $8 million per, I'd do something like that. Now, I don't view him as a guy to, $10, $12 million per year, but $7 to $8 million per as a, low end 2, high end number 3 receiver if he plays well this year, I definitely think that's a possibility.
I mean, yeah, like especially obviously we hope Mooney will pan out, and then
Yeah.
we assume Velus Jones will take a step this year, his rookie year, and then hopefully take a step his second year. But I mean, Jones could still be kind of developing this time next year for his second year, so it might be wise to bring back Pringle if he's performing well, that is.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with you too. I think it'd be like a 1 or 2 year deal. Like, I don't think they'd bring him back on a long-term deal, but I definitely think that Pringle could be a guy that is here for more than 1 year. Appreciate the question. Yeah. We're gonna hop to another caller here. We got Tommy Gunn on the line. Welcome back, Tommy. What's going on? What's going on?
All right, so I had to spin the block because I got a prediction. Justin Fields is going to break 4,000 passing yards. I just have a feeling deep down now. It may not be one receiver is going to explode for, however many yards. I just think, it's going to be all around. It's going to be spread out because there's so many different people. And I think the way that Eberflus likes to run his defense, he's going to run his offense, interchangeable guys, so nobody gets tired. And I just,
So the curse will be broken, you say?
Oh, it has to be.
It has to, man. We were actually talking in the office earlier. A few of my coworkers actually didn't realize that the Bears are the only franchise that doesn't have a quarterback who's thrown for 4,000 yards or 30 touchdowns in a single season. It's got to end. The madness must end.
I just got back from Minnesota. I was living in Minnesota the last 4 years, and that's all I heard every day from all my friends, all the Vikings fans. I'm happy to be back in Chicago.
Hey.
It's going to be over so I can, turn the other cheek to them guys.
Glad to have you back in Chi-Town, man. Appreciate it, Tommy. Hope you have a good day. All right, you guys let me know in the comments. Will the madness end? Will Justin Fields throw for either 4,000 yards or 30 touchdowns, or hell, both? Let us know in the comments. Will that finally happen this year? Go ahead and give your thoughts in below. And also, subscribe on Callin, subscribe on YouTube. Help us out in both spots. For Callin, if you're watching on YouTube, it's chatsports.com/BearsCallin. If you're listening on the Callin app, just hit the subscribe button. As we continue to grow over here, we're going to do some live post-game shows in the fall, especially during the preseason. We'll test it out, so be on the lookout for that. Also, subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/Bears Now. If you're listening on Callin, go check us out over there. Daily videos over on Bears Now on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, just hit that subscribe button. All right, appreciate that. Appreciate all the questions.